Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, your number one source for everything workspace by the Tab Geeks Network. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. Hope you all had a nice holiday weekend. I tried to go away and ended up cutting my trip short since half of my family got sick, and something must be going around because we weren't the only ones, and Steve is also under the weather all the way over there in Chicago. Steve, how you holding up?
Well, sounds like a little bit better than you guys did. I didn't have to cut anything short this weekend, but just today woke up and I've been just been sick all morning. Been in bed since just now. So yeah, not feeling great. So hopefully we get through this episode in not too bad a shape. We've got a pretty decent number of updates to kind of run through this week, and I think probably one of the only weeks that we haven't had news in quite a long time, since we've probably been doing the news. We've always had something, but nothing too notable today that we're going to be talking about on that front.
Didn't really have the kind of week where I was scouring the Twitters and seeing all of the news and things as they happen. So I'm sure there are some things that we're just not talking about this week. Obviously, there's still updates to AI stuff and new things coming out there on the consumer side. But with this many updates and the fact that, nothing major popped during the week that I felt really needed to be, that I saw that needed to be in the news. I figure we'll skip it. I mean, last week's episode was an hour, just about an hour without the news, so it's not a trend that we're trying to do. I'm not killing the news or anything, but, when there's this many updates, I gotta have mercy on you folks.
And we're gonna...
I'm not...
I was gonna say...
Sorry.
Okay.
We're out of sync today. I was going to say we're not Linus Tech Tips with a 5-hour show over here on the WAN show. What was the one that I used to compare us to in the early days? This Week in Google. That's a 3-hour show. No, we're not doing that. We're keeping it under an hour if at all possible. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say we're going to skip over some of the Chrome version 114 updates. We'll save that for next episode. So we're going to kind of cut that part a little bit short here as well. But we did see that announcement, so we'll cover that in next week's episode. But we'll run through the updates here, and then maybe what we'll do is we'll just alternate between you and me, Jesse. You take one, I'll take one.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'll just run through the agenda here. So silent releases, we saw 5 of those in the end of week recap post. Improving Google Meet experience on foldable devices, additional refinements to email notifications sent from Google Classroom, the introduction of new keyboard shortcuts in Google Sheets. You can now also find what you need faster with new Google Drive organizational options. And then finally, you can pin multiple participants from Google Meet hardware devices. And then in the published releases, we saw the simplification of workflows in Google Docs with variable chips. You can extend client-side encryption now to chat messages in Google Meet. There's new capabilities to timeline view in Google Sheets. We can now set expirations for files in shared drives using the Google Drive API. And then third one here from the end, you can enable your users to report inappropriate messages for review. Context delegates can now update labels and manage other contacts. And then finally, to wrap up the updates, the main updates here on Workspace is that you can improve consistency of Gmail data across the security investigation tool and BigQuery.
And I'm glad that we did the episode today. It's Tuesday right now when we're recording, a little bit late because of the long weekend and my hell trip from hell. But the silent releases actually had improving the Google Meet experience on foldable devices mentioned twice, and pin multiple participants from Meet hardware devices was not there. So I think that they updated that this morning when they realized that they had made an error there, because I'm pretty sure it was last night or maybe the night before that I was checking out the updates blog to see how long this episode was likely going to be, and that was not there. So I guess something to keep in mind for the future is if there is an error when we do record the show, check back on Monday or Tuesday or so. Especially if it's a long weekend, and that error may have been fixed. So, cool.
Yeah, and then Bard has some image capabilities. I think we were talking about that before, saying wouldn't it be great? We saw that in the I/O announcement. Well, now it's out. And then, as I mentioned, we'll go through the Chrome version 1.14 updates in the next episode. There are a few things to point out there in terms of new admin features and functionality there in the admin console for Workspace related to Chrome. All right, so let's jump in. I'll go through the silent releases here, Jesse, and then you can start off with the first published release, and we'll do that.
Cool.
All right. So the improvement of Google Meet experience on foldable devices. So if you are using one of those foldable devices, like the brand new Pixel foldable, could be one of those.
I'm not. If Google would like to send me one, I'd be happy to.
An improved experience there in that tabletop mode. So Meet will automatically adjust the grid layout and the control bar to best suit the device, make it easier to participate and interact during meetings. Next, there's some additional refinements to email notifications sent from Google Classroom. And if you are leveraging this, I think, for work as well as in schools, these email notification experience in Classroom is going to make it easier for students and teachers to find the right information more efficiently in order to take action there in the classroom. So you'll notice a kind of a refreshed visual design and language, and a clear focus on the action items and easier to access notification settings. Next is the introduction of new keyboard shortcuts in Google Sheets. They're adding new keyboard shortcuts to Google Sheets to help increase the productivity and perform actions faster. So some examples here include that you can apply and remove bold formatting, moving to the next sheet and displaying find and replace box. This one did roll out to rapid release domains now, and the scheduled release domains will start seeing this on the 7th of June. Next, you can find what you need faster in Google Drive organizational options. So some additional ways to organize results. And so when you display your results there in Google Drive for the web, there'll be some new drop-down menus for both grid and list layouts that will enable you to select whether folders should always appear on top or if they should be mixed with files. And also, while in the search view, there'll be a new menu to provide display options specifically related to your search, which returns results sorted by relevancy and modification date. Rollout to this one on rapid release domains started already, and scheduled release domains also will see this one starting the 7th of June.
I feel like that update is about 10 years late.
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with how it sorted and displayed folders and files, or just folders, etc.
Right.
It always made a lot more sense in Windows, but okay, glad they're finally getting around to it.
Yep. And then finally, in terms of these end-of-week updates, you can now pin multiple participants from Google Meet hardware devices. So if you are using those video tiles, you can pin multiple video tiles now with the Meet hardware, and to help highlight different speakers, presenters, or key attendees in your feed. And you can use this functionality however you're joining a meeting, either on desktop, mobile, or a conference room. So it's available to all Workspace customers with the Meet hardware. And Jesse, I'll let you do this, the first one here. While I kind of clear my sinuses here a little bit.
Oh man, Steve needs a breather. He's on mute, thankfully. All right, so the first update here is simplify workflows in Google Docs with variable chips. So they've been putting a lot of work into improving this, as we saw last week and in the last couple of months here, a whole bunch of updates around Smart Canvas and rolling out things to make your lives easier. So here they are introducing what is called variable chips, which is a new feature that makes document creation for things like invoices, contracts, or broader communications much easier. So it's kind of like templates, but with smart chips, but variable chips. So essentially, you can predefine and insert placeholders such as a client name, contract number, or an address, and then update it throughout the entire document by editing the value in one place. You can use variables as a dynamic placeholder to make the template creation more straightforward, whether that is through custom building blocks or using the document as a template. So this is individual units, whereas before we saw the custom building block, which would be a larger set of information that gets that is placed in as a template, as a completed product. Here you have more variables, which is great. And I wonder if this is going to be able to be used for mail merge, because they are showing here in the screenshot, thank you for your business. We hope you enjoy product 1, product 2, product 3, etc., company name, address, state, zip, data, and so on. And so if you're updating that, as you create this as an invoice, for example, and then export it as a PDF, then you are going to have sort of a similar experience. I don't think it's going to be automated, but possibly through the APIs. And then another thing that, like we commented on, I believe it was last week, once again, we have the scary reference in the top right-hand corner, because this is obviously an internal production screenshot, or GIF, actually, of pod editors, documents, front end, etc., etc. So always interesting to see a little bit behind the curtain of what it looks like on the Google side of things. The availability of this, there is no admin control for the feature. Rapid release domains have a gradual rollout up to 15 days that started already on May 23rd, and scheduled release domains have a gradual rollout starting on June 5th. Available to Google Workspace Business Standard, Business Plus, Enterprise Standard, Enterprise Plus, Education Plus customers, and nonprofits, and is not available to everybody else. Workspace Essentials Starter, Business Starter, Essentials, Enterprise Essentials Plus, Education Fundamentals, Education Standard, Teaching Learning Upgrade, Frontline Starter, and Frontline Standard. Do we really need to say who it's not available to?
I don't know. No, I think we said who it is available to.
Yeah.
And also not on the personal Google accounts either. So
yeah. Well, they don't have access to the cool features. So
yeah. Ooh, all right. Next one
Welcome
here
back.
Is the extension of client-side encryption to chat messages in Google Meet. So for those few customers there that are using client-side encryption, this has now been extended, of course, to the Meet chat messages. So if you're on that, on that tier, leveraging client-side encryption, you will see this. There's not too much really to describe about this, but rapid release domains saw this starting on the 24th of May on an extended rollout, potentially longer than 15 days. Scheduled release domains will see this starting the 26th of June, also on an extended rollout, longer than 15 days for that visibility to appear. And just those Enterprise Plus, Education Standard, and Education Plus customers that are leveraging client-side encrypted calls will be able to take advantage of that feature. So that's a relatively quick one. I can jump in and do the next one here. Then we're looking at the new capabilities to timeline view in Google Sheets. So kind of follow on from last year's announcement with that interactive timeline to track projects in Google Sheets. So that timeline view will enable you to interact with project information. And in today's announcement release, sorry about that, there are enhanced formatting options, including card text truncation and the undo redo option. Card collapsed view enables you to merge cards into a single row for each card group is also now available. And there is print and download support for this. In terms of rollout for this, this did start on the 24th of May for rapid release domains on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility there. And then for scheduled release domains, this will start on the 7th of June, also a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility. And this one is available to pretty much all workspace environments, although it is not available for the nonprofits, Frontline Starter, Frontline Standard customers, nor available to those with personal Google accounts. So available to everyone else if I didn't list you off.
All right, I'll take the next one here. Give Steve a break. Set expirations for files in shared drives using Google Drive API. So last year, they rolled out the ability to set expiring access when sharing files in the My Drive interface. And now they're expanding it to be able to control that via the Google Drive API. Specifically, developers will now be able to fully control file expirations via the API, creating, reading, updating, and deleting, and users will be able to see but not edit file expirations in the sharing dialog. And the screenshot here shows that Jane Doe is the editor and John Doe is also the editor, but John Doe's access expires June 1st at 6:59 a.m. There is no admin control for this feature. The feature is available now, and it is available to Google Business Standard. Do we have to say Google? Is available to Business Standard, Business Plus, Enterprise Essentials Plus, Enterprise Standard, Enterprise Plus, Education Fundamentals, Education Standard, the Teaching and Learning Upgrade, and Education Plus customers. I feel like I can do the radio announcer voice there and just plow through, Side effects may include.
Right.
At the end for who it's available for.
Run through quickly.
Exactly. Ramp up my speed.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I usually just go with what's the smaller list, right? Is it the smaller one of saying what's not available or what is available?
Yeah, you keep people on their toes, make sure they're paying attention to which one you're actually listing.
Yeah.
Those nonprofit people get real excited if they're not paying attention.
Next is the ability to enable your users to report inappropriate messages for review. So this is a Google chat feature here. So for certain Workspace customers, admins can enable content reporting for their Google chat users. And once that message has been flagged, admins can find more information in the incident security investigation tool as an incident alert there, and decide whether further action is needed. And this can be turned on for one-to-one messages, for group messages, or for messages in spaces, and also be able to select which reporting categories are available for their users, such as harassment or rude behavior, sensitive information, and more. So admins can also customize the language in the reporting dialog box to educate users about the next steps following the report submission. So this is a pretty cool feature here.
Yeah, I like it.
Decent level of customization, right? And not just kind of a predefined list that you can't control and adjust. So nice to see us having that, granularity in being able to customize and use the tool here, or use this feature here.
Yeah, this is I think huge, especially as you have companies rolling out the ability to have control spaces by groups and have everybody basically all in one, like the whole company in one chat. Is something that I've heard a lot of people talking about that they're interested in doing, and so you're going to need a way to report like, hey, this is not supposed to be out there or whatnot. So and I appreciate the customizability of it as well.
Yeah, this is a feature that will be off by default, so you will have to enable it and turn this on if you want to use it. So head over to the admin console there and, toggle this on if you want to test it out. And, enable can be enabled at the domain or OU level. It doesn't look like it is configurable by group, but at least within the OUs, it is possible to customize it.
Yeah.
So... And some screenshots and images of what this looks like, so you can get an idea of what that user experience is going to be like, or just try it out and test it out for yourself.
Mobile as well.
Yeah, mobile screenshots in there as well as desktop view. Rollout for this one is starting the 25th of May, and it is only going to be available to certain customers though. So this is a very limited release. That rolled out though on the 25th, starting for both rapid release and scheduled release domains, up to 15 days for visibility. And it is only Enterprise Plus, Education Standard, and Education Plus customers. So this is kind of an enterprise only feature.
Not even Enterprise Standard?
Nope. This is a plus feature.
That's rude. Come on, Google.
Yep.
That's wrong.
So,
well,
next
I hope
one.
they update that. That's. I know that a lot of these things come for, the more secure level of organizations, but this is reporting.
Yep.
Okay, whatever. I would have expected Google to at least include enterprise standard, if not everybody, on this one. So, all right.
Yep.
I guess it doesn't have the full interface for the reporting on the admin side for everybody else, but it's a security investigation tool. But still, at least for enterprise standard.
Well, well, that would be enterprise standard, wouldn't it? So you get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least enterprise standard. I don't know why it has to be plus.
Yep. All right, I'll jump into the next one, and then you can wrap things up with the final update. So this one here is contact delegates can now update labels and manage other contacts. So if you were a delegated user of someone else's contacts, this functionality will be improving here. So while we talk about this was previously available in Gmail, this can now be managed directly at the source in contacts. And there's like a two-phased approach to this rollout. So beginning this month, delegators will be prompted to review and reapprove access for their existing delegates. So if existing delegates are not reapproved before July 2023, they will lose access to manage contacts. So there is some information on that below in the image, I guess, and down below here in the getting started section for end users. So beginning in that July 2023 period, all users who have been approved or assigned as contact delegates will also be able to update labels and manage other contacts. And there's also some admin SDK API functionality here to make adjustments for users in their domain to remove and re-add contact delegate privileges. So I think we talked about when this is happening with the May date there, with the prompts, and then July in terms of when that functionality will actually be rolled out. There is, kind of the I guess the extended rollout. It says up to 15 days for visibility here on the rapid release and scheduled release domains started on the 26th of May. So I'd imagine that is the prompt that you will start to see as the end user will be rolling out here in the next few days. And this is going to be impacting all Google Workspace customers.
All right. Last one here. Improving consistency of Gmail data across the security investigation tool and BigQuery. That's a mouthful. In August of 2022, they announced the movement of the existing Gmail logs in BigQuery to Google Workspace logs and reports in BigQuery so that you could have a single space to access all of the Workspace audit events. To further improve this experience today, you'll see all Gmail log events from the security investigation tool in your Google Workspace logs and reports in BigQuery. This includes device types and post-delivery actions, for example, open, delete, click links, and attachment downloads. This change will give admins a more complete picture of Gmail activity happening in the domain and bring consistency across reporting tools. There's a table here that I'm not going to read out because it's a whole bunch of technical mumbo jumbo, but you should definitely check out the update if you're interested in here. They have the newly added columns, and even more details than that are also in the Help Center. This is already available for Google Workspace Enterprise Essentials, Enterprise Standard, Enterprise Plus, Education Plus, and Education Standard. See, Enterprise Essentials and Standard got this, but they don't get the other moderation? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Whatever, Google. Maybe it'll change at some point, or it's like some things we've seen, it's a architecture back-end change that's preventing it. So, whatever. 'Tis what it is. And that's pretty much it for the actual episode here.
Yeah. Bard, bringing images to Bard. It's really the next one. So
yeah. But we talked about that last week, and honestly, the only news here is that it's out. And then one other thing I was going to bring up for keyboard shortcut warriors on Android, Android 14 has apparently, when you attach a physical keyboard to it, and it's a larger screen device, when you do attach the keyboard to it, apparently it enables a whole mess load more of keyboard shortcuts. So if you're a keyboard warrior on an Android larger screen device, definitely keep an eye on that. I believe I have a Verge article, or I can get the Verge article to include here on that, which is where I saw it, and that'll show you how to find all of those. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Wearing my new MKBHD, taking a stand on 30 frames per second versus 24, versus 24 or 60. There's an argument among creators of how many frames per second a video should be on YouTube.
Okay.
And so MKBHD has always been a big fan of 30, as am I. I film all of our shows and edit them all in 30 frames per second. 60 is for action things, and 24 is for cinematic. So we're not doing cinema, we're not making a movie, and generally we're not doing action shots either.
Yeah.
So 30 frames per second is the magical sweet spot. So I had to take a stand here as well. So, continuing on my bunch of new nerdy shirts that I got. I'm going to have a new one every week for the next probably 2 or 3 months, because I just went on a binge. So,
Nice.
All right, so we're going to let Steve go back to bed and rest. That's all for this week. Short week this week. Send us your questions, comments on Twitter or on the website, workspacerecap.com. Hit the subscribe button if you would, wherever you're listening to us. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Workspace Recap.